Wayne Newton has been billed as one of the highest paid nightclub performers, and I was reading some of the bio on you, and it called you ever fresh. And I'd like to say that's really a compliment to have been able to adjust and to change your material and still stay on top.
Well, thank you very much. I hope that's what it means. If you'd been talking to my enemies and they said ever fresh, it could mean something else. But I thank you for that.
Well, really, what is the secret, though, to be able to maintain your popularity? And I don't mean that you're old, but you started very young, and you're in your early 30s.
Well, I think that probably one never really thinks about maintaining any kind of popularity as much as you do in terms of staying current and contemporary. And I think one is kind of a result of the other. If you can stay contemporary and you really like what you're doing, as I do, and work at it, then the rest of it's kind of an end result of that.
And you really started out in the field of country music. I hear now that you even do some spirituals. You do a little bit of everything.
Well, I really kind of started in country and western and spirituals, and it seems that 26 years later, I seem to be coming back to that because it's so widely accepted now. And, of course, it was my first love in music.
Do you yourself make the selections of your work, or do you listen
I really
to
do,
others?
only because, of course, I listen to others, my manager, but by and large, they kind of leave that to me because I've always felt that nobody knows what's working for the guy on stage better than the guy on stage, and as long as he's objective about it and allows himself to be, objective and doesn't get into any kind of ego problems, then usually it tends to work out the best for him.
Well, what is it we were thinking, or we were talking earlier to some of the people waiting for you, that so many people start out big and the notoriety is so quickly over that people forget who you are, that if you don't, or if you aren't able to adjust, you're just lost in the mass.
I think it's more than adjusting. I think it's somewhere along the way called paying your dues. No matter what you do in life, whether it be a bricklayer, an entertainer, a gas station attendant, somewhere along the way, you must take the time to learn your trade. And if you do that, then I think you can ride the fads up and down and possibly sustain and reach that modicum of success that is very difficult to achieve in terms of longevity.
I must have comment on your appearance, too. You look different than you did when you were earlier or younger in your career. If you've lost weight, you've changed your hairdo, and even they're adjusted to the change.
Well, it's just a matter of growing up. I think time takes care of that.
Do many people still think of you as you were when you used to be on the Jackie Gleason?
Not so much. I think, like I said, I've done enough television and enough recordings in the past that people tend to know what I sound like and what I look like now.
You recently were on TV with an appearance with Jonathan Winters, I hear.
Right.
Is this true? Did you enjoy that?
I loved it because it's a totally contemporary show and it's a totally ad-lib show. So everything that you do on that show is right off the top of your head, and it's kind of like flying an airplane, I guess, by the seat of your pants. It's away you go.
Now, you really are known as a total entertainer, that you play 13 different instruments, you do impressions, and you don't read a word of music. Is this true?
Well, as someone once said in Nashville one day when they asked a guitar player if he learned to read music, and he said, not enough to hurt my playing.
But do you like the idea of doing other things?
Very much. I think it's necessary to diversify as much as possible so people never really get tired of any one thing that you're doing. So if a guy can sing halfway decent and play a few instruments, and of course the instruments for me came about during the lounge days when we were doing 6 shows a night, 6 nights a week for 5 years. It's impossible to sing that much and have a throat left.
Mm-hmm.
So I started picking up different instruments in order to overcome that.
What is the attraction about nightclub appearances? And you really have a record of, I don't know how many weeks at a time with no days off, 2 shows a night. What is it about it that's so compelling?
I think it's the challenge every single show. Television, records, and motion pictures, all those things. If something goes wrong, there's a director that says, cut, we'll do it over. When you're out there on the boards and you're out there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, there is no cut, let's try it again. What goes down, goes down. And you can't fake it, because people know better than that.
But how do you get up for that so many, many times? What's the longest time you've gone without a break?
We've done 4.5 months without a day off.
How do you keep up for it?
I would much prefer working every day, that way even, doing 2 shows a night, 7 nights a week, than to take 3 or 4 days off in the interim somewhere, because it takes me a good week to come down. You set a pace, and it's not too unlike a racehorse. When you're in training, it's best to stay in training.
Has your audience appeal changed, or the same people come? What are the age group? Is it a wide range of people?
We get people from 4 years old up to 94. It really is quite a wide range of age groups.
Do you ever resent or regret starting in the business so early? What were you, 6 years old?
I started at 6. No, I can honestly say that I didn't, only because that background is invaluable, you know, and the times that we did 6 shows a night, 6 nights a week for 5 years, that kind of background and learning of your trade, there's no place you can learn it much anymore.
You don't feel you lost part of your childhood there?
I certainly didn't know.
All right, we're almost out of time. Now, I did want to mention your interest in Arabian horses. Tell us how you got involved in that.
Well, horses have always been kind of my avocation, and I love them. It's been a penchant of mine all my life, and I started in thoroughbreds and quarter horses for a while. And I'm not a spectator at anything. If I can't get into it myself, I tend to pass on it. And the Arabian horse, for me, offers everything that I've always wanted in a horse. And he's kind of the general practitioner of the horse breed. He can do it all, and in most cases, better than any other breed can do it.
I happened to meet one the other day, and I got a kiss on the cheek to show how nice they are.
I hope it was mine.
I don't know. Thank you so much, Wayne Newton,
Pleasure,
for talking
sweetheart.
with us on Omelet.
Thank you.